Hi, it's Michelle Bursell, creator of the Feel Process, and I'm here with you today to talk to you about a struggle that I've seen a lot of people dealing with lately, and that is, how do I know when I've got a big decision to make if I'm buying into some fear about this decision, or I have to pay attention to some real concerns I have, and that's what's stopping me from making the decision. And this is really important for you to understand, because what's coming through in this moment where you're hesitant and you can't get clear about making a decision is that what's underneath here is if you're buying into a sense of power or a sense of powerlessness. And luckily and fortunately for us, our emotions are going to guide us, to support us always, to help us step more into our truth. And of course, your truth is that you are a powerful being. So let me give you some examples with this. We have Deanna, who recently was really concerned because she and her husband were ready to buy their dream home. And her husband in particular, is really excited because he's just gotten a new job. And although this house is outside their comfort zone financially, he feels like he can swing it. And so Deanna's like, you know what? How come when I see us going through the pros and cons, I'm holding back tears? You know, what's wrong with me? He's so excited. He knows, he feels that he's got my back with this, and together financially we can pull this off. And I know we need to take risks in life to go for our dreams. What's wrong with me? And she told me for an hour she was holding herself back from tears. And that is what I listen to. When your emotion comes in, that's where you want to pay attention. And what she was trying to push down and deny was the fact that she has real financial concerns. They've already gone through a bankruptcy. She wants to live in financial integrity. And so there was all these stories around it, but where her power was in listening to her emotion. And what her emotion was trying to say through those tears is, I don't want to move forward. This doesn't feel right for me. I need to have healthier boundaries around my finances so that I feel more cleared up in my relationship with money. And so what she was trying to push down and deny were these feelings that were trying to guide her to say, you need to listen. This is where your power is. And you feel powerless when you're just going with it, hoping for the best, but not really paying attention to what your gut is telling you. Now let me give you another example of where Christopher was ready to, let's put it this way, he knew he had to quit his job. He was just in a situation where he kept getting piled on more work. His boss wasn't being that nice to him, and expecting and demanding more, and meanwhile, wasn't getting any recognition or acknowledgement about the extra work that he's taking on. And so, his fear was saying, I can't do this. I can't quit my job. I've got the bills to pay, mortgage, wife with a expected baby on the way. There's no way I can do this. But the emotion was there to guide him. And so for a month, he kind of stayed in this place of knowing, I need to quit my job, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And we allowed him to stay in that uncertainty. And in some cases, you have the flexibility to stay in uncertainty. And a lot of people judge that. A lot of people want to push to make things happen. But here's the thing. If you push yourself before you're connected and tied to your inner wisdom, you're going to second guess yourself. And when you second guess yourself, it's like you're tripping yourself, and that's where you unconsciously will self-sabotage yourself. And I'm going to get into second guessing more next week. But the whole point is that rather than push himself, we just listened. And there was a part of him saying, you know what, I need to back off myself and back off everybody else's opinion who's telling me to quit, and just and know that there's a time where I'm going to be ready. And sure enough, it was about a month, and he got word that he was going to have to do more travel, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he was ready, and he just knew. He just knew. He took that leap, And now, it was a couple months of uncertainty, but because that uncertainty was guiding him as to how to plan his job hunt, it made him feel certain as to how to approach that. And now he is found his job, found work that he's passionate about, and found a job where he feels respected. So what this is all about is about listening to your emotion to claim your power. Sometimes from your ego standpoint, it's going to sound like that listening to those feelings that you're trying to push down is weak because you want to cry in that moment or you feel overwhelmed in that moment. But underneath that is real guidance if you allow yourself to listen. And again, not feeling that you have to push yourself. In some situations, it's important to listen, and if that power is coming through right away, you want to listen to that. If it's not, if it's saying, hold off, trust in that. This is the whole point, that when you trust in your emotions, you begin trusting in you in a deeper level. The more you trust in you, the more certainty you have in yourself. And the more certainty you have in yourself, the more self-confident you are in your decisions, the more self-confident and powerful you feel about going about your life. So I'd love to hear from you and hear about, is there a situation where you had to make a decision and everyone thought you were going to go one way, and then at the last moment you turned and went the other way, and you can look back on your life and it was a defining moment for you? Or on the flip side, was there some warning signs coming up for you emotionally, but you pushed them down because you weren't sure how people would react to your decision? You pushed them down, you went with kind of what was expected of you, and now you can look back and say, I should have listened to myself. Either way, I would love to hear from you, because this whole process is about the more we become conscious with what's going on with us, the more we become conscious of how our emotions are trying to support us, the more you're going to be able to make decisions from a power-filled place. So I honor you for being in this path to listening to your emotions consciously, to trusting in them so you can trust more deeply in you. I look forward to touching base with you next week, and until then, live emotionally conscious and exceptionally well.